Hey YouTubers, Guardian Mike here. Want to talk about your home. I'm excluding rentals and the property up north. It's a little bit more complex, but I want you to be prepared to talk to your attorney about your home. So we'll go into that and about the way you hold your deed to that property, okay? So this is our 2017 Lawyers. You're going to subscribe, like if it's helpful, leave us a comment below how we can help. Now, if you're a married couple, the thought process is that there's about 4 ways you can hold title to your home. But if the problem is, upon the first death, you're in this home, it's been your home for 30 years, and on the death of the first person, you want the surviving spouse, dad dies first, husband dies first, the surviving spouse, wife, you want to own that home, and you don't want to have to go to probate, you don't want to have lawyers involved, then one of your options is to talk to your lawyer when you're going to them to discuss your assets and your will and your powers of attorney. Talk to them about the home. How are you holding title to the home? And husband and wife, particularly if you take the property during the marriage, husband and wife, tenancy by the entirety. So John and Jane Doe as husband and wife, tenancy by the entireties, and not tenants in common, is often used by lawyers, and often you'll see that on your deed. And what that means is that will give you some very powerful protection that against creditors upon the first death. So if husband and wife are holding it as tenancy by the entireties and one person dies, the next person surviving, in our example, John dies and Jane Doe is surviving. Jane Doe doesn't need to go to probate. Jane Doe is the owner. She doesn't need attorneys. And even though the taxes are coming in her husband's name, you don't have to worry about how they're titling it on your deed. Your lawyer will look at that, and I want you to have your lawyer review that with you. You want to see the benefit of tenancy by the entirety, husband and wife. Okay, I want you to think about that. And I want you to know that upon that first death, if that's how you're holding it, you don't have to spend a lot of time with a lawyer. You don't have to go to court. That's the general rule. That's why this fits in on my previous tapes where I said to you the number one reason why people go bankrupt is because of medical debt. Medical debt. So when one of you go to the hospital and you're signing documents, and look at those prior videos where I interview lawyers on how to sign documents. So John and Jane Doe are married. Their home is tenancy by the entireties. That means it's a joint asset. It's a marital asset. John is having heart pains, and Jane drives him to the hospital, and he's gasping, and the hospital says, "Here, Jane Doe, sign these papers." You know, Jane Doe wants to sign John Doe by Jane Doe as agent. Jane Doe, please don't sign your name. When they discharge to the nursing home, please don't sign your name. If it's for John Doe, I don't want you to be agreeable to his debt, because when you sign your name, they've already got John Doe because they're doing the services for John Doe. So the hospital already can bill John Doe, but John Doe may not have any assets. The assets may be in that house that's entirety's house. And if you have to go bankrupt, they can't get that house. And if you're holding your assets in, and this is beyond this tape, but when you both sign, they can get joint assets. Okay, for the general rule is. So why even go there? Why have to go through what are all the exceptions to that when you're dealing with a lawyer? I want you to see your lawyer, and I want you to interact with your lawyer about 2 things. How do you hold the home on the deed and tenancy by the entirety? And how should you sign when you're married and somebody goes to the hospital and you're the spouse and they want you to sign those papers? Or you go to the nursing home, they want you to sign those papers. Why aren't they going to John Doe? Why do they always go to Jane Doe? Or reverse, and whoever is in need of the services, why do they go to the other one? Just take that paper, that clipboard that they take to you in the emergency room, and take it right over to the person. And if you got an ounce of energy and you're John Doe and you're in respiratory distress, I still want you to make it X. unless you want to punish somebody, okay? So now think about that, and then let's discuss, there's a hot topic called ladybird deeds, because and that's beyond the scope of this discussion, but you discuss with your lawyer what are the ups and downs and the risks when you do a ladybird deed, meaning you do a life estate, you deed the property out and hold back a life estate in yourself. Are you giving up any protection that entire deeds would give you? And are you trading that protection for some other protection to qualify for long-term care benefits like Medicaid? Now, that's a hot topic. This is 2017. We have Medicaid, Medicare, that may be changing under the new presidency with Trump. We have the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. We don't know where that's going at. And I just want you to be informed. When you're going in and you're moving around those deeds, remember the car that went in and he said, fix the muffler? You go in and you say, I don't want to lose this home to medical debt. But at the same time, if I go to the nursing home, I don't want to lose upon my death, I don't want to have a Medicaid lien. I don't want to lose it after death, and I don't want to lose it during my life. Lawyer, do you have a tool for me? And we have that deed, husband and wife. That's one tool while you're alive. And but we also have the Medicaid tool that many Medicaid planners are using. It's called the deed. It's called the ladybird deed. You can Google that. I just want you to ask the right questions, and I want to form your mind that you're going to get some protection against medical debt while you're alive. Can we get protection against a Medicaid lien after you're dead? And is it changing? Sometimes the law changes every 6 months, if not sometimes 3 or 4 times a year. So in risk, can you keep me in the safe area? Or my personality, I'm willing to accept some risk, or I'm willing to be risky with this. But you now know these are the issues to put on the table to analyze with your lawyer in that first 20 or 30 minutes. And there's more than one lawyer. You can talk to other lawyers and get their idea. A good lawyer, look, good lawyers don't care if you shop around. An educated client's a good client. They don't care if you talk to 5 clients. And get educated on what the concepts are. So again, in summary, the purpose of this short tape was to introduce you to a concept where a married couple is involved. Their major asset is their home. The major threat against that asset is medical debt. And how you can lose that is if mom signs for dad, dad signs for mom in the wrong way. And then the creditor, which would be the hospital, can come after the home for the $300,000 debt, and you can prevent that. All preventable if you sign papers the right way. You have powers of attorney, and the lawyer teaches you how to sign. Check those videos out. You sign the right way. And then when somebody starts to talk about a ladybird deed, you ask them, am I giving up protection of entirety's property against medical debt, or do I still have that? And discuss, I'm keeping my protection I have now against medical debt because I'm using property, the powers of attorney, and I'm protecting it from the property from loss after death against a Medicaid lien. Those are some things you want to talk about, okay? It's a little bit more involved, but it saves your major asset. Just talk about it. Can't guarantee it, but those are the concepts to talk about your lawyer with, okay? Talk to your lawyer about.